studying it. So here I'm giving you all the information in one shot here, right? So this over here signifies that we understand that right when we went through the design of the skull, there was the hole for the eye socket, and this thing bulged out, right? Okay, so this guy goes like this. So now we knew that when we had drawn that line for the eyebrow where we had got that fat system, this is where we're going to get that line. And on practically on everyone you're going to get this line, and meaning that this area here is obviously going to be dark, right? And over here it just automatically gives you that fat area. Okay, so for here on the other side it's just going to be the same thing. You're going to draw the upper eyelid over here, and just give it that bottom area over here. Okay, so anyways, so now we understand these concepts over here, right? Because this is going to play a major role when we start to draw this out pretty fast, because these are very simple ideas here. Okay, so just keep that in mind, what I just showed you here, and also keep this in mind that what I'm stating over here, that look, if you drew the line over here, since you know that the cheekbone is going to be over here, right? And you already know that, of course, if it goes here, you're going to get the bottom of the ear over here, and from the top of the eyebrow, you're going to, if you go in this direction, you're going to get the top of where the ear is going to sit, right? So this is one understanding, and the second understanding is from where this the meeting of this corner of the eye is, right? This line over here signifies where that curve is for that ear. So it's going to be pretty much just like this. Okay, so know that where that cheekbone is, where that bone goes from here to here, it's where that hole for the ear is. Okay. So I'm just going to simplify this for a second. Okay, so we know that the ear goes right over there. Okay, and we also understand that we are purposely drawing the line here to state that, right, we get the concept of the curve over here, right? Okay, so now this goes over here, so we know that this guy is on top, and this area over here is obviously a little bit inside. Now, depending on how chubby your the face for the character is, right? But like on a slim guy, this would be a little bit inside this area over here. Okay. So just keep an eye out for this. What happens under the eye here, and start noticing this on drawings. You'll see that this is a very common understanding as to how this goes. Okay. So the next item is that where you get the nostril, right? The simplest understanding is that if you drew a line for where this the ending of this corner of this eye over here is, and if you drew a straight line, you're going to get the area for the nostrils to how far it's supposed to be. You're not going to draw it over here, right? You're going to keep it at least over here. I'm giving you a general system over here of thinking about putting this stuff on paper. And obviously, the more you draw now, you're going to add to these universal understandings here. Here, I'll just shade this in a little bit. Okay, so that goes over there. Okay, so now the other understanding is, and this is very simple, is to how do you determine where the lips are going to be. So basically, all you have to do is, since you know that when you drew this line over here, right in the hat, in the middle, right? All you have to do is divide this in 3 parts, okay? And be picky about this as to how you're dividing this. Divide this in 3 parts. Okay, so once you divide this in 3 parts, what happens is that this top line tells you that this is the meeting of the lips, meaning that this area here, where the top of the lips is, it's going to come over here. Then you're going to get the top area of the lip. Okay, then it's going to go down. And this is where the 2 lips will meet. So this means that if the 2 lips meet here, where the top of the lip is never straight, right? It has to come down halfway over here. Okay, let me go over this again. So when we divided this in three parts, 1, 2, 3, right? We specified that this is where that lip area is, right? The meaning of the lips, and on top of this is where we drew the lip. And in the halfway, if we divide this in half, we know that the bottom lip is going to be here, meaning that on the top lip, when you finish it off, it has to come where this ending of the bottom is. Okay, so now when you put this in place, it's going to automatically give you how lips are put on the face of the human figure. Okay, this is the basic pattern that they follow. So one of the other things is that you're going to get that nudge here, right? Because we knew that those muscles was going around, and you're going to get that nudge. And also just keep an eye out for where the center of the eye is. Right, this is the center of the eye. It's going to hit over here. So your lips can't go out here. They're going to go over here. Okay. So now when these lips go, so this is the ending of that lip. So the reason you divide this in three parts, right, and you come in the middle here for the bottom lip is because this area here, where you when you divided this in three parts, this area here gives you that automatically gives you the space to give that extra bulge under this bottom lip here, right, and then the chin would be down over here. And then you'll get the chin, and just know that obviously it's going to have its own plane over here, right? And this, so let me actually just put this in here for a second. Okay, so one of the things to keep in mind is this area right here. Okay, I'll point this out. The top of the lip is higher than the bottom. Okay. So this says, so we know that the top is higher and this is the bottom. So when we do it this way, when you put it down, you know that it's going to pretty much automatically just come together like the way it's supposed to. Okay. So the other thing is that this whole area here, we also knew that it had a plane over here. So one of the understandings for this is that on where the center of the eye is, not only does this center of the eye signify that where this nudge for that lip is supposed to be, you're also going to get that area for that plane over here. So this plane is completely separate from this concept of this line that goes here for the muscle, right? Just know that there's a plane over here. And of course, where this thing is and where that whole bulge is, away from it, right, you're going to get this muscle over here, just like this. Okay, and of course you can just add your own understandings to this, what I'm showing you here. And make it much more realistic. Okay, so one of the other things is just know that obviously there was a little fat system here. So I'm not going to draw it and just know that it's over there. Okay, so the other understanding for this is, okay, so when you draw this, the line for the cheek, you also should keep an understanding that over here, how this goes, this line, it goes here, it hits over here, it bulges out, right, because this is bulging out. It bulges out. But there's a plane that you need to be aware of that goes in this direction, right? There's this line over here should signify that, okay, we get this concept as to how it's not a plane, it's just keeping an eye out for how you should be thinking about understanding is in a much more 3D form in shading, right? So we can now just shade this in if we wanted to over here. Okay, so we've got like shading over here. We're going to have a little bit of shading over here, like so. So let's just shade this in so we can see where we are at. Okay, so meaning that when we went over here, so this is like a dark area on this side, obviously. So where this thing was, where you got the wrinkles, this now helps us to understand. Okay, so we get why this line gets over here, because it helps to give the figure that 3D look, the human skull, that 3D look over here. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly shade this in, just so we can understand these concepts here real quick. Okay, so this goes here, and then we also know that that muscle for that cheek where that gland was is obviously going to be over here. So you can sometimes like put a line here, depending on where you're drawing this, from what angle and what kind of shading you're doing. Okay. Okay, so it's 20 minutes. Okay, so anyways, in the next lesson we're going to have to come back to this, and now we're going to look at everything in detail what we just talked about, and going to see how does this make a difference in putting the human head, drawing it with more of a much more free hand. I hope to join you for that. Thanks.